For centuries, Earth had drifted in cosmic silence, an unassuming blue dot nestled in a quiet arm of the Milky Way. Its people gazed at the stars with curiosity, but their reach had never truly extended beyond their own solar system. Despite rapid advancements in technology, Earth remained isolated, unaware, and untouched by the greater galactic civilizations sprawling across the stars. There were wars out there, vast empires, ancient rivalries, and alliances forged in the heat of suns 10 times the size of their own. Planets were claimed, species enslaved, resources plundered in the name of dominion. But Earth knew none of it. Their satellites circled their home, their rovers crawled across nearby planets, but their minds remained grounded in terrestrial matters, politics, economy, survival. Humanity's arrogance wasn't in believing they were superior, but in believing they were alone. Beyond their perception, one name struck fear into the hearts of civilizations: the Korath Dominion. Ruthless, cold, and efficient, the Korath were not merely conquerors, they were cosmic tacticians, biological supremacists, and technological monsters. Their empire spanned solar systems, built on the ashes of those they had subjugated. To them, Earth was merely a primitive speck, one that had finally been detected by their deep space scans. A lush planet, rich in resources filled with carbon-based life, easy to terraform, easy to exploit. And its dominant species? Fragile, naive, barely capable of interplanetary travel. The Korath did not see Earth as a threat. They saw it as a strategic pit stop, one they could claim, strip, and silence before moving on to more formidable targets. Their fleet was dispatched, silent, enormous, and deadly. Back on Earth, life continued as usual. Nations argued over borders, companies competed over consumer data. The internet buzzed with entertainment, politics, and the occasional blurry UFO sighting, none of which were taken seriously. Earth's militaries, though powerful in their own right, were built for earthly wars: jets, tanks, satellites, nukes. Not one global power had considered the possibility of extraterrestrial warfare as anything more than science fiction. There were no planetary shields, no anti-orbital defenses, no contingency for what would come next. When the Korath fleet entered the solar system, no one noticed at first. Their stealth systems operated beyond anything Earth had seen. By the time telescopes caught a glimpse of the odd formations near the asteroid belt, it was already too late. The skies above Earth darkened, not from storms, but from massive, hovering vessels that blotted out the stars. The Korath had arrived, and with them came the soundless promise of subjugation. No warnings, no demands. Just precision strikes on Earth's orbital satellites, major defense hubs, and communication relays. In seconds, the modern world was hurled into chaos. Panic swept the globe. Militaries scrambled, civilians ran, governments attempted to make sense of the unfolding horror. Cities went dark. Satellites went offline. Entire air forces were neutralized before they could launch. The Korath commanders observed it all with detached amusement. They expected Earth's collapse to be swift, just another feather in their crown, but there was something they had not anticipated. Not weapons, not technology, but the human spirit. The same will that had driven explorers across oceans, builders, to construct cities from deserts and rebels to rise against tyrants now began to stir once more, not with surrender, but with resistance. And in that moment, as Earth's people looked to the skies, not with fear, but with fire in their hearts, a quiet warning was written across the stars. This species may be fragile, but it does not kneel. The Korath fleet appeared suddenly, like shadows crossing a bright horizon. Without warning, Their massive ships emerged from the depths of space, hanging ominously above Earth. Their sheer size and power were enough to freeze the world in shock. Without hesitation, the alien force unleashed a devastating assault on Earth, targeting the planet's most crucial defenses. Within moments, communication systems were disabled, military installations obliterated, and major cities were reduced to rubble. The world plunged into chaos, the once quiet skies now filled with the thunderous roar of alien weapons. Earth's defense systems, outdated and unprepared for an attack of this scale, were quickly dismantled by the Korath's superior technology. Humanity, taken completely by surprise, could do little to resist the onslaught. The first waves of strikes were so swift and powerful that Earth's military forces were rendered ineffective. Fighter jets, missile defense systems, and radar installations were no match for the Korath's advanced weaponry. Their ships, armed with destructive energy, beams tore through Earth's cities, wiping out any organized resistance in mere minutes. Humanity was left stunned, its once strong military forces crushed by an enemy far beyond their capabilities. Captain James Mitchell, a seasoned officer who had spent his career preparing for conflicts on Earth, was thrust into a battle unlike any he had ever imagined. As the first signs of the Korath invasion became clear, Mitchell immediately began organizing the scattered remnants of Earth's defense forces. His calm under pressure and sharp strategic mind were essential in the moments following the initial assault. Despite the chaos and panic, Captain Mitchell knew that this was only the beginning, and Earth's survival depended on the ability to rally any remaining strength to fight back. He quickly assembled his team and began to assess the damage, determined not to let the invaders claim Earth without resistance. Meanwhile, Dr. Lisa Garza, a brilliant scientist with expertise in alien technologies, was called upon to study the wreckage left by the Korath's first wave. Her role in the resistance would be crucial, as the key to humanity's survival lay not only in their military might, but also in their ability to understand the advanced technology the Korath used to attack them. As Earth's forces struggled to mount a defense, Dr. Garza and her team began to scour the remains of destroyed ships, looking for any clues or insights that could give humanity a technological advantage. While the initial discoveries were small, they hinted at the possibility of reverse engineering the Korath's tech, a potential lifeline for humanity. As the attacks continued, Earth's cities burned and its defenses crumbled under the weight of the alien onslaught. Humanity, which had once believed itself to be invulnerable in its own corner of the universe, was now left facing the harsh reality of alien aggression. For the first time, humans saw with their own eyes that they were not at the center of the universe, not the most powerful species. The sheer scale of the attack left humanity in disbelief. How could this happen? How could their world, so peaceful and unassuming, suddenly be invaded by forces from beyond the stars? The idea seemed unreal, something from a science fiction novel. Yet there it was, real, undeniable, and terrifying as the full extent of the devastation unfolded. Earth's population was plunged into panic. Governments, unable to comprehend the scale of the attack, were left paralyzed. Communication between nations broke down, and civilians fled in every direction, seeking refuge wherever they could. Those who had once believed that life on Earth was peaceful and safe were now confronted with an alien invasion so powerful that it threatened to wipe out all they had ever known. The idea of alien life, once a subject of speculation and curiosity, had now become humanity's worst nightmare. And Earth, once a silent observer in the grand cosmic scheme, had suddenly become the target of an empire that viewed them as insignificant prey. The initial shock was overwhelming, but beneath the fear and chaos something else began to stir: resilience. Earth's military, despite its overwhelming losses, was not completely defeated. Captain Mitchell, Dr. Garza, and the scattered survivors began to gather, rallying humanity's last chance for resistance. They had no illusions that they could match the Korath's technological advantage, but they knew they had something that the invaders could not understand: human ingenuity and willpower. The first signs of Earth's resistance began in those early moments with the courage of a few military officers, scientists, and civilians who refused to give up. The spirit of humanity had not been crushed entirely by the Korath's overwhelming might. The question was no longer about whether humanity would survive. It was about how long they could hold out against a force that was far beyond anything they had ever faced. Despite the overwhelming odds, resistance began to form in the wake of Earth's initial devastation. At first, it was small groups, survivors of the attacks, military personnel, and ordinary civilians who refused to accept the fate the Korath had handed them. These pockets of resistance, though disorganized at first, began to gather strength and momentum as more people joined the cause. From all walks of life, soldiers, engineers, scientists, and even doctors, humans came together, determined to defend their planet at all costs. Every community that managed to survive the initial wave of destruction became a potential stronghold, a place where the resistance could organize and prepare for what was to come. Dr. Lisa Garza, who had been studying the remnants of the Korath attack, made a groundbreaking discovery that would change the course of humanity's fight. While analyzing the wreckage of the Korath ships, she found an anomaly in their energy shield system. At first, it seemed like a simple flaw in their technology, but upon closer inspection, Dr. Garza realized it was a vulnerability. A critical flaw in the Korath fleet's shields could be exploited, a weakness that humanity could use to level the playing field. This discovery opened a door to the possibility that Earth, despite its technological inferiority, could fight back. For the first time, the human forces saw a way to counter the seemingly indomitable Korath forces. With this information in hand, humanity began to formulate a plan. Captain James Mitchell, leading the last remaining military forces, knew that their options were limited, but the new discovery gave them a fighting chance. The Korath, overconfident and dismissive of humanity, had made the mistake of underestimating Earth's ability to adapt. Captain Mitchell, determined not to let the invaders take their homeworld, devised a daring counterattack using guerrilla tactics and the newly discovered alien technology. Humanity's first counteroffensive would target a Korath supply ship in Earth's orbit, a key supply line that was crucial to the alien fleet's ability to continue their assault. The attack was swift and precise. Using improvised weapons, humanity launched a surprise strike against the Korath vessel. The attack, though risky, was a success. For the first time, humanity had managed to disable one of the Korath's ships, turning their own technology against them. The Korath fleet, once thought invincible, had suffered a blow at the hands of a species they believed was incapable of defending itself. The shockwave of this victory spread quickly across Earth and beyond. It wasn't just a military success, it was a symbol of resistance, a spark of hope that proved humanity wasn't as weak as the Korath had assumed. For the first time since the invasion, Earth's people began to believe that victory was possible. The success of the counterattack ignited a newfound sense of purpose. It was no longer about merely surviving the invasion, it was about fighting back, about standing up to the Korath and showing the galaxy that humanity could not be crushed. This was the turning point, the moment humanity found its footing and its resolve to push forward in the face of overwhelming adversity. From this victory, Earth's resistance gained confidence, strength, and the belief that they could stand toe-to-toe with the most feared species in the galaxy. With Dr. Garza's groundbreaking discovery, humanity's military forces began to adapt at an unprecedented pace. Earth's engineers, driven by a sense of urgency, started reverse engineering the Korath technology, focusing on the alien weapons and defense systems that had so easily decimated their forces. Within weeks, the fruits of their labor began to take shape. The first successful designs included disruptor bombs capable of neutralizing the Korath's energy shields and energy shield bypassers that could penetrate the alien warship's formidable defenses. The moment these weapons were tested, it was clear that humanity now had the means to challenge the Korath in a way they never could have imagined. This newfound technological edge did more than equip humanity with the means to fight back. It redefined the way Earth engaged in battle. The early guerrilla tactics that had marked humanity's resistance were now paired with advanced alien tech weaponry, allowing Earth's forces to strike with deadly precision. Guerrilla fighters no longer used primitive weapons. They now wielded disruptor bombs, plasma rifles, and shields capable of withstanding the Korath's energy blasts. Each strike became a calculated attack, a precise blow against the invaders' forces. The battlefield was transformed into a theater of ingenuity. Earth's military, while still far outnumbered, had gained the upper hand in terms of tactics and technological superiority. The core of humanity's strength lay in adaptation. Humans, who had once been a weak, unsuspecting species, were now fighting back with weapons that gave them a chance to match the Korath Empire's might. The Korath, who had initially believed our Earth to be a primitive world, were now facing an enemy they had underestimated, a species that, despite their flaws, had the uncanny ability to adapt, innovate, and fight back. General Mitchell, now fully aware of humanity's growing capabilities, launched a highly ambitious attack using the new technology. His forces, armed with the latest alien-derived weapons, set their sights on a critical Korath military base located on the Moon. The attack was precise and swift, using guerrilla tactics to infiltrate the base, sabotage their supply lines, and launch surprise strikes on key installations. The culmination of this attack came when humanity's forces managed to disable one of the Korath's major warships, a critical blow that sent shockwaves through the Korath Dominion. It was the first time since the invasion began that Earth had not only defended itself, but had struck back, and struck back successfully. The battle on the Moon, though costly, proved one of humanity's first major victories in the war. The Korath warship, once thought invincible, lay crippled and powerless, a testament to Earth's ingenuity and determination. For the first time, the Korath realized that they were no longer facing a helpless species. Earth had proven itself to be a formidable opponent, and the Korath could no longer assume that humanity would simply collapse under the weight of their assault. In that moment, the Korath leadership understood that they had made a grave mistake by underestimating Earth. The victory on the Moon sent ripples of hope throughout humanity. It wasn't just a tactical victory, it was symbolic. Earth had taken its first steps toward reclaiming its place in the galaxy. No longer was Earth a helpless, defenseless world. Now it was a world that had fought back and won against overwhelming odds. The turning point in humanity's fight for survival had arrived, and it was clear that the tide of the war was shifting. The Korath, who had once believed they could erase humanity without so much as a fight, were now forced to reckon with the undeniable truth. Earth was not as weak as they thought. The victory also marked the beginning of a new phase of humanity's resistance. It wasn't just about holding on anymore, it was about pushing forward, strategizing and attacking. With their newfound technological advantage, humanity now had the tools to not just survive, but to fight for their world. The Korath had underestimated them, and now they were going to learn just how wrong they were. The battle for Earth had only just begun, but with every victory, humanity grew stronger. and the Korath's grip on Earth's future grew weaker. The Korath Empire strikes back with a fury unlike any seen before. Having underestimated humanity for far too long, their leaders are furious at the setbacks and losses they've sustained. Their pride is wounded, and their first move is to assemble an overwhelming counter-offensive. The Korath fleet, massive and terrifying, moves in a coordinated attack using their most advanced weapons and war machines. As the Korath ships descend on Earth's orbit, they unleash a devastating barrage of energy-based weaponry targeting the heart of humanity's last bastions of defense. Orbital bombardments, laser strikes, and EMP pulses wipe out remaining human military infrastructure with brutal efficiency. The very air above Earth is filled with explosions as spaceships battle for control in the upper atmosphere. The Korath's goal is clear: eradicate the human resistance, crush their will to fight, and show Earth that it is still an insignificant, defenseless world. Earth's forces, though bolstered by the recent victories, are still outmatched. Despite having reverse-engineered Korath technology, the sheer magnitude of the Korath fleet is almost overwhelming. Humanity suffers tremendous losses. Cities are once again reduced to rubble, airfields are destroyed, and entire military bases are annihilated within minutes. Yet, humanity does not falter. Humanity's resilience becomes more apparent in these darkest hours. The leadership of General Mitchell and Dr. Garza shines through. Despite the heavy losses, Earth refuses to surrender. While the Korath believe that the human will to fight will eventually break, Earth's resolve proves stronger with every loss. General Mitchell, ever the strategist, refuses to let fear dictate the course of the war. He rallies humanity's remaining forces, reminding them that they have already fought back once and that they can do it again. Meanwhile, Dr. Garza, who has been working tirelessly on understanding the Korath's weaknesses, plays a key role in strengthening humanity's defenses. Using her knowledge of the Korath technology, she works with engineers and military experts to enhance Earth's defensive shields, improve weapon systems, and find ways to counteract the Korath's devastating energy attacks. Her efforts, though met with resistance at times, make a tangible difference in humanity's ability to hold its ground. The strength of humanity, however, lies not in its overwhelming firepower, but in its adaptability. While Earth's forces continue to face annihilation, the sheer will to survive keeps them from yielding. Small victories in strategic pockets across the globe are celebrated as beacons of hope, demonstrating that no matter how outclassed they may be, humanity will never go down without a fight. Key moment in this chapter comes when humanity decides to strike back in an unexpected way. In a bold maneuver that takes the Korath completely by surprise, General Mitchell's forces launch a counter-offensive using the Korath's own technology against them. The disruptor bombs and energy shield bypasses that Earth had developed from reverse-engineered Korath technology are deployed in full force. In a climactic space battle above Earth's orbit, the Korath fleet begins to feel the sting of their own weapons being turned against them. Human ships, now capable of disabling Korath vessels, strike with precision. The Korath, confident in their superiority, are forced to deal with humanity's resilience and growing technological power. This unexpected counter-offensive sends shockwaves through the Korath leadership. Their arrogance has led them to believe that Earth was no match for their might. But as the battle unfolds, they begin to realize that humanity is more than just a primitive species. It's a species capable of adapting and innovating under pressure. The strikes by humanity begin to take down key Korath warships, disabling their defenses and slowing down their advance. As the battle for Earth's orbit rages on, humanity's growing confidence is felt across the globe. The Korath, who thought the invasion would be a swift victory, are now realizing that they are facing an enemy that won't just roll over. Earth is proving that it has the strength to withstand even the most overwhelming forces. Their belief that humanity would crumble under the pressure begins to crack, and the Korath are forced to rethink their strategy. Humanity's ability to adapt has turned the tide of battle. What was once seemingly hopeless resistance has now become a cohesive and strategic defense where humanity uses the Korath's own weapons and tactics against them. The Korath Dominion is starting to realize that they underestimated humanity's resolve, a mistake they would soon regret. The momentum has shifted. Humanity, once on the brink of annihilation, is now standing tall, showing the galaxy that they are capable of surviving even the most brutal of invasions. The Korath Empire, despite its technological superiority, is beginning to falter in the face of humanity's fighting spirit, innovation, and resilience. Humanity's resolve, strengthened by their small victories, and their ability to adapt, proves that even the most overwhelming odds can be overcome with determination and resourcefulness. The Korath, who once believed that Earth would be an easy conquest, are now starting to question their assumptions about humanity's strength. As the tide of the battle begins to shift, it becomes clear that humanity is no longer the weak species the Korath once thought it to be. Earth is fighting back, not just with weapons, but with the unbreakable spirit of its people. As Earth continues to rally, gaining strength with every victory and outsmarting the Korath forces at every turn, General Mitchell and Dr. Gaza develop a bold strategy to bring the war to a decisive end. The Korath Empire, once so confident in their technological superiority, begins to falter as their fleet retreats from Earth's orbit. What was once a world on the brink of destruction is now pushing the invaders back. With every battle, humanity gains not only the upper hand in weaponry, but also in tactics. General Mitchell, with his military experience, and Dr. Gaza, with her scientific knowledge, come together to craft a final assault strategy. Their plan is audacious, but it's humanity's only hope of ending the war once and for all. The Korath Central Command Station, located deep in their home territory, is the target, the heart of their empire, where all decisions are made, and where the control of their vast fleet lies. If Earth's forces can destroy it, the Korath Empire will crumble. The mission to strike at the heart of the Korath will be a risky one. The journey to their homeworld is fraught with danger, as the Korath fleet still controls a massive portion of the galaxy, but humanity is not deterred by the odds. General Mitchell knows that with Earth's combined forces, along with the new allies they've gained, their plan has a fighting chance. With Dr. Gaza's advanced tech, which has turned the tide in humanity's favor, the idea of taking out the Korath Central Command becomes a realistic target. Humanity's tactical advantage grows with every step they take. The use of reverse-engineered alien technology, coupled with the ingenuity and resourcefulness that humans are known for, begins to outmaneuver the Korath forces in ways they never expected. Earth's military is no longer just a resistance force. It is becoming a galactic power, able to challenge the might of one of the most feared empires in the universe. Earth's allied species, who had been inspired by humanity's resilience, join in the final effort. Species who had been oppressed by the Korath for centuries now lend their forces, bringing their own unique strengths and knowledge to the table. With humanity's leadership and their newfound allies, a coordinated strike is launched against the Korath capital. The once fearsome Korath fleet is now facing a united front of forces, and their command is being infiltrated and attacked from all sides. The final mission to destroy the Korath Central Command becomes more than just a military operation. It's a test of strength and courage, not only for the soldiers fighting on the front lines, but for all of humanity. The stakes have never been higher. As the mission proceeds, every member of the Earth forces knows that this could be the decisive blow that ends the war. The sacrifices made, the battles fought, and the years of resistance have all led to this moment. General Mitchell, leading the charge, rallies his forces with a speech that speaks to the very essence of humanity's fight. We've shown them that we are not weak. We've shown them that we are united and that we will fight until the last breath to protect our home. Today, we finish this war. Today, we show them that they were wrong to ever think they could crush us. The Korath fleet, while still large and formidable, begins to feel the pressure of the human forces. Earth's forces, now accustomed to their tactics, attack with precision and speed, using guerrilla tactics, new weaponry, and the support of their allies. The Korath Empire is no longer the unstoppable force it once was. The fight for Earth has shifted, and now humanity is not only defending its planet, they are on the offensive, taking the fight to the very heart of the Empire. As the final push begins, the key moment arrives. Earth's forces have breached the outer defenses of the Korath's capital. With a coordinated strike, they begin to disable the planet's defense systems and launch a full-scale attack on the Central Command Station. Earth's forces, now empowered by advanced technology and tactical brilliance, press forward, pushing the Korath to the brink of collapse. Humanity, having already demonstrated its resilience and adaptability, is now fully committed to delivering the final blow to the Korath Empire. Every strike, every maneuver brings them closer to victory. As the last battle rages on, humanity proves that they were never the weak species the Korath believed them to be. The Korath leadership, once confident in their superiority, is now faced with a humbling reality. The humans they sought to subjugate are now the ones calling the shots in this war. The ultimate showdown has begun, and humanity's victory is within reach. The final showdown begins with the deafening roar of battle in the cold expanse of space, a backdrop to the culmination of humanity's relentless struggle. After years of fighting, with each victory and loss serving as a testament to their resilience, Earth's forces, now reinforced by their alien allies, make the ultimate push to rid the galaxy of the Korath Empire's oppressive rule. The battle rages in Earth's orbit, where humanity's forces, no longer the underdogs, now wield the power of advanced alien technology and the unity of countless species fighting for the same cause. The Korath fleet, though powerful, is now faced with the combined might of humanity and their allies. Space itself trembles as the final push unfolds. Humanity's ships, sleek and efficient, outfitted with reverse-engineered weapons, cut through the darkness. They make their way toward the heart of the Korath fleet's defenses as explosions ripple across the battlefield. For every Korath ship that is destroyed, another seems to replace it, as the enemy proves just as relentless. The battle is a chaotic mess of flashing lights, swirling debris, and the constant whine of energy weapons as humanity and the Korath exchange blows at the highest stakes possible. But amid the carnage, there's a growing sense of determination within humanity's ranks. This isn't just about survival anymore, it's about ending the war and securing Earth's future in the galaxy. General Mitchell leads the charge, his tactical brilliance shining through in this final confrontation. The Korath, once so sure of their victory, now find themselves pushed to the edge, retreating to their capital fleet as humanity closes in for the kill. As the battle intensifies, General Mitchell knows that the final blow must come from within the heart of the Korath's defenses. He orders the last assault, targeting the Korath Central Command, the core of the Empire's power. The mission is dangerous, and Mitchell understands the risk he faces. This will be a one-way trip for him and his crew, but the sacrifice is necessary to ensure the survival of Earth and its place in the galaxy. With his command, a fleet of Earth ships filled with seasoned warriors and engineers breaks through the chaos and heads directly for the Central Command. As the mission progresses, Mitchell's leadership becomes more evident than ever. Despite the overwhelming odds, he leads his forces with precision, his eyes set only on the target. His crew follows him with unwavering loyalty, and together they make their way to the heart of the enemy fleet. The final battle will require every ounce of courage and strength they have left. However, as they near the heart of the Korath fleet, the reality of the situation sets in. There is no turning back. The Korath leadership must be destroyed for Earth to survive, and Mitchell understands that the success of this mission will require sacrifice, his own. In a final act of bravery, General Mitchell orders the detonation of a massive disruptor bomb designed to wipe out the Korath Central Command. The bomb, powered by alien energy sources, will ensure that the Korath fleet is crippled and their leadership is wiped out. But to ensure the mission's success, Mitchell stays behind, coordinating the final steps of the operation while his crew evacuates. His last words are a quiet but determined promise to his crew: "Finish this for Earth." With Mitchell's sacrifice, the final blow is dealt. The Korath Central Command is destroyed in a flash of light, and the Korath fleet begins to falter. The Empire, which had once seemed invincible, collapses under the weight of humanity's resilience. The Korath leadership is wiped out, and their military falls into disarray. The once mighty empire, feared by all, is no more. Humanity, against all odds, has won. The victory is bittersweet. The cost has been immense, with countless lives lost, but it is Earth's victory. General Mitchell's sacrifice becomes the symbol of humanity's strength, courage, and unwavering resolve. His legacy will be passed down for generations as the leader who refused to let Earth be taken and who fought until the very end for the future of his people. As Earth stands victorious, the galaxy now knows the true strength of humanity. No longer seen as weak or insignificant, Earth has earned its place among the stars. The Korath Empire, once the most feared force in the galaxy, is now gone, and humanity has proven that when pushed to the edge, they are a force not to be underestimated. Earthsea forces, battered but unbowed, return to their planet, ready to rebuild and ensure that the peace won at such a high cost will never again be threatened. Humanity's resilience and strength have not only secured its survival, but have also ensured its legacy as a force of unity, courage, and indomitable will. In the aftermath of victory, Earth stands tall, its once fragile foundation now solidified by an overwhelming display of resilience and strength. The Korath Empire, which had dominated and oppressed countless civilizations for centuries, is now nothing more than a shattered remnant of its former self. Humanity, which had once been written off as insignificant and weak, has proven itself as a force to be reckoned with. The once quiet planet, nestled in the far corner of the galaxy, has become a symbol of resilience, a beacon for oppressed species everywhere. The victory over the Korath was not just a military success, it was a transformational moment in the galaxy. Earth, no longer an isolated species, had stepped into galactic politics with a newfound confidence. Humanity had faced down the most ruthless empire in the galaxy and emerged victorious, not just because of brute force, but because of adaptability, innovation, and the sheer will to survive. While the battle for Earth was a defining moment in history, the aftermath is where humanity's true strength begins to shine. As the dust settles, the world begins to rebuild. Earth's cities rise from the ashes, and the survivors, many of whom lost loved ones in the fight, come together to forge a new path for the planet. The scars of war remain, but the resolve to push forward is stronger than ever. New alliances, begin to form as Earth's influence spreads throughout the galaxy. Word of humanity's victory reaches the farthest corners of space, and oppressed species, many of whom had lived under the Korath's brutal rule for centuries, begin to take notice. One by one, they reach out to Earth, offering their support, resources and technology. The galaxy is ready to embrace humanity, no longer seeing them as the weak species they once were, but as a strong and capable power with the potential to lead. Humanity's alliances begin to shape the future of galactic politics. Earth, now at the center of a new coalition, leads the charge in rebuilding a galaxy fractured by centuries of Korath domination. Earth's diplomatic leaders, once considered insignificant players on the galactic stage, now find themselves at the forefront of negotiations, shaping the future of interstellar relations. Captain Sarah Hawke, General Mitchell's right hand during the war, becomes the galaxy's foremost diplomat, working tirelessly to form partnerships and alliances that will ensure lasting peace and prevent the rise of another empire like the Korath. With the rebuilding comes the growth of humanity's technological capabilities. The reverse-engineered Korath tech and the alliances formed with other species open up new possibilities for scientific and technological advancements. Earth's once humble military force now stands as a formidable force of peacekeepers and diplomats ready to offer help to those in need, just as they had once been helped. Humanity's role in the galaxy shifts from that of a fledgling species to that of a leading force, a protector of the weak and a champion of the oppressed. The future of Earth now looks bright, filled with endless possibilities. The scars of war are still fresh, but they are overshadowed by the hope that the victory over the Korath has brought. No longer will Earth be a backwater planet, isolated from the rest of the galaxy. Humanity, now united in purpose and vision, embarks on an era of exploration and discovery. Earth begins to send expeditions beyond its borders, exploring new planets, meeting new species, and forming relationships with civilizations across the stars. The once humble species that struggled to make its mark in the galaxy now finds itself shaping the future of interstellar relations. But with great power comes great responsibility, and humanity is not naive enough to believe that the galaxy is safe from new threats. While the Korath Empire has been defeated, the galaxy remains unpredictable, and there are those who will seek to fill the power vacuum left in the wake of the Korath's fall. But humanity's place in the galaxy is now secure. The lessons learned from the war with the Korath will guide Earth's future as it navigates its new role. Earth's military is no longer seen as weak or underdeveloped, but as a galactic powerhouse, ready to defend against whatever challenges the galaxy may throw its way. As Earth begins to explore new frontiers, the galaxy watches with interest. Humanity's reputation, once tarnished by centuries of isolation and misunderstanding, has now been forged in the crucible of war and sacrifice. The galaxy, which once dismissed humanity as insignificant, now recognizes that Earth is not to be underestimated. Humanity is a force to be reckoned with, and the future is bright for those willing to stand beside them. In the end, humanity's victory over the Korath Empire is not just a testament to their strength and resilience, but to the unbreakable spirit of a species that refused to kneel. Earth may have been under the shadow of the galaxy's most fearsome empire, but now it stands tall, ready to face whatever new challenges the galaxy holds. Earth's rise is just beginning, and the galaxy will never be the same again. Earth's victory was not just the end of one war. It was the beginning of a new era. The galaxy had watched as humanity fought back against impossible odds, and now they were ready to stand with humanity as equal allies, recognizing the strength of a species that had once been overlooked. The future is no longer uncertain for Earth, but full of hope, exploration, and new alliances with the Korath Empire. Gone, the galaxy has space for a new power, and Earth, with its history of survival, is ready to shape its own destiny.